Minasan konnichiwa, it's me, Shogo.
And Harumi.
Good evening, guys. It's another Wednesday night, so it's the night that I hold the Musou Ichiden-ryu online lesson with Seki Sensei. Yes, and right now, we're watching this video together with you. We're at the Inzan Daikyujo, which is a Kyujutsu dojo right next to the Asaka Shrine, which we were talking about last week. Yes, we were showing you the Torisei video.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. We were talking a little bit about it, and it was actually the day when we went to Torisei was the day we went to this dojo. And this is the video this time of the dojo itself. Which is what's really exciting is that next week we'll be introducing to you another restaurant, which is called Entutsu. It's super great meat sushi, by the way. But afterwards, we'll probably be introducing you another experience and then getting back to another bar we went to. That was really close to here. So there's a lot of already so many exciting footage that we're going to be using the podcast for. So I really hope today you can enjoy watching us practicing Kyujutsu here at this dojo. By the way, this lady, I need to introduce her as soon as possible. She is actually the 7th head of the dojo at Inzan Daikyujo. Inzan Daikyujo, the dojo itself is about 160 years old, they were saying, and it was built around the end of the Edo period. Harumi's moving around the camera for me. So it was built around the end of the Edo period, and the reason why this dojo was built originally was because this lady, the 7th head, is actually called Mori-san. Mori-san's great grandfather was originally probably a samurai from the Choshu clan. Choshu clan is the clan that existed in Yamaguchi Prefecture. Yamaguchi Prefecture, Choshu clan was the clan that was most rebellious against the Edo shogunate. During the end of the Edo period, when westernization started in Japan, there was a 10-year civil war among the samurais between who's going to be leading the next generation, basically. Is it going to be the Edo shogunate again, or is there going to be a new government created to run the westernized Japan, basically? And of course, in the end, the new government was established, and that new government, the westernized government, Meiji government, started to rule Japan, basically. But before that, there was a lot of turbulence between different clans and samurais fighting each other, and the Choshu clan were the most what should I say, violent, I guess. Most they were absolutely violent, though. They were the most rebellious, powerful clan that was really strongly against the Edo shogunate. They were kind of the leaders of the side that was trying to take down the Edo shogunate. And anyways, her great-great-grandfather was one of the Choshu clan members, and even though he probably maybe made some kind of mistake, they're not too sure, but he was actually kicked out of the Choshu clan. But he still had people that he had connections with the Choshu clan, so he was actually using this dojo as a place to share information with his allies in Kyoto. So it seems that her great-great-grandfather had Menkyo in this Kyujutsu Ryuha called Hekiryu. I saw on the website that it's called Insai-ha. There's a lot of different branches in this Hekiryu. And he was a master, so it wasn't very strange for him to open a dojo because he had Menkyo. But the original purpose is believed to be, they're not 100% sure, but believed to be a place for them to meet up secretly and share information, which I think is a very interesting piece of history, to be honest. But unfortunately, it's really interesting, but how, what should I say, history comes to life, if that makes sense. But her great-great-grandfather actually was caught by the Shinsengumi, the Mibu Wolves. I talked about them so many times on my YouTube channel before. But he was actually captured, and he was, I think he was executed, yes, unfortunately, and his descendants, carried down this dojo as just a dojo, as a real dojo, basically. And now they have the 7th generation. And I talked about the dojo last week a little bit as well, but basically Mori-san's older brother was the sixth head of the dojo, and he was running the place, and he was supposed to be the one, carrying it down even more from and maybe his son or whoever was supposed to be carrying it on. But unfortunately, her older brother passed away last year suddenly. We don't know too much about it. Maybe it was a sickness, maybe it was an accident, or we didn't ask so much about it, to be honest, of course. But yeah, that's what we heard. And because no one was there to run the dojo anymore, his sister basically came in to try to help out and to preserve the dojo and the traditions. Yeah, and it seems that her older brother was more of a very traditional kind of person. So he was like, like in Kyoto, we say Ichigen-san o Kotowari, like no first comers or no first guests. Basically, if you're not introduced by someone, you can't come in, was the kind of tradition her brother used to do. But Mori-san, the lady that you've been seeing in the video, she's a little bit more open-minded, she said herself. Yeah. And in order to maintain and keep the dojo going, she now wants to start these activities for tourists who come to Kyoto and actually try out the insai-ha, the hikiryu here at this traditional dojo. Yeah. And one of the reasons why she needs to do that is because after the COVID pandemic, a lot of these students who regularly came to the dojo quit coming, or sometimes they became too old to come and to do the kyujutsu in the first place. Yeah, so they had less and less students, and it's very difficult, to find students that would always come to your dojo, So they've been really struggling to survive, it seems. So that's another reason why they wanted to start this. So I really do want to try my best to help them out as much as possible. Yeah. I'm, Harumi and I have been talking about this, but we're trying to really seek some ways for us to really seriously work together with them. We don't have any like concrete plans yet, to be honest, because I could actually be here at this dojo to help out with interpretation and just be like the host running the activity together. But at the same time, though, I already have, my activities with my men's kimono dressing lessons, which actually have reservations tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, which we're really excited. We're starting to get a lot of reservations. Yeah, and most people, of course, know me. Probably through my video and my content and stuff, yeah. But it's great that we actually get to meet them. That's that's one of the purposes originally, because the Yushinkan's Kyoto's katana activity originally played that role, right? A place where everyone can come and see me if they wanted to, if they're interested. Yeah, but of course, as you guys all know, the laws, the interpretation of the firearms, sword and firearms law in Japan changed due to an accident that happened in Kyoto. So no facility is allowed to use real katanas anymore. And it's also been more than 2 years since I started the activity together with Yushinkan Kyoto, and I wanted to challenge new things and make new connections and such. So I had to move on, unfortunately. But we have a new place basically. So I'm thinking, I don't know. They actually have a gentleman here, a young gentleman. He's still a university student who's helping them out with these activities and such. But yeah, I want to, because I'm pretty sure he has school and he has classes, so they might not be able to hold every single day of the week maybe. And I want to ask him if there's a spot where they can't run it because they can't find an interpreter. Maybe only on those slots I can go and help them out or stuff like that, or maybe I can just simply help out with trying to gather more guests to this dojo. Yeah, it's just really, really interesting. Yeah. And basically, if you guys are interested already watching this video and listening to me talking about the place, it's a 1 hour activity, and it's all you can shoot. It's all you can eat or drink kind of stuff, but all you can shoot. Yeah, basically. For a whole hour, basically, you just can keep on shooting if you want to. If you get tired, you can quit. Yeah, of course, the first half, though, you need to listen to the instructions, like the history of the dojo and instructions properly. They have this amazing, really well-edited video. Yeah, that's in English. That explains about the history of the dojo and instructions on how to draw the bow properly. Yeah, and everything. So you'll be able to get all the information you need to fully enjoy the experience. But yeah, and it's really just an hour. Again, it's really close to the Asaka Shrine. If you ever planned to come to Kyoto, I'm sure Asaka Shrine is one of the top things that'll pop up, of things to do in Kyoto, along with the Fushimi Shrine, bamboo forest. I don't know, Kiyomizu Temple, right? Yeah. Yasaka Shrine is right along those lines. Super famous places, and it's like a 2-3 minute walk from the Yasaka Shrine.
Yeah.
And it's really funny how I know a lot of people who live in Kyoto who've been living in Kyoto for a very long time, right? Yeah, like for example, my no theater sensei, Yamada sensei, I actually had training the other day, and because he saw my real videos on Instagram, he was actually talking about this Enzo Daikyu the other day during training, and he actually used to train in Kyoto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my no theater sensei, Yamada sensei, who you guys might have seen before in my YouTube channels and my content and such, but he's just 5 years older than me. But when he was a high school student and also in university, I think he did Kyudo. Yeah, so he did Kyudo for quite a long time, actually. Yeah. So he was watching my videos, was like really interested.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially he said he probably don't have enough time to go back to Kyoto because Kyoto has a lot of rituals and such. Yeah. But if this is a place where you can just go in and, start shooting some arrows, he thought it'd be a good place to go. So, but even people like Yamada Sensei, who's been living in Kyoto for like more than half of his life, compared to where he was born and brought up. Yeah, even people like that didn't know about this place at all, even though it's right next to the Osaka Shrine. Yeah. Because again, the previous head of the dojos were people who are more like trying to hide the dojo as much as possible. Yeah. But again, these what should I say? Those kinds of ways of running places like shops, dojos, I don't know, workshops. Yeah, they tend to be like that in the past, right? Restaurants, like Ichigen-san, Okotowari no first comers, But I mean, that is, in a way, that is kind of like a virtue for some people, But it's starting to get really unrealistic considering the declining population in Japan, and Japanese people getting poorer and poorer, and just continuing to say that no, we only welcome people who have ever come to this place before. They of course, obviously, a lot of people get this wrong, but of course, Japanese people will get rejected too. If you go to these places, they're like, oh, it's like discrimination against foreigners, but no, it's towards Japanese people too. Yeah, if you're somewhere outside of Kyoto City, not Kyoto Prefecture, Kyoto City, then they're gonna treat you as a person from the outside world, basically. So it's the same thing, right? Yeah.
The rule is originally towards the Japanese people.
Yeah, exactly. The rules originally, before people from overseas ever came to Kyoto, the rules existed obviously to protect the unique culture in Kyoto, where a lot of the aristocrats used to live, right? They couldn't just let people who weren't originally from Kyoto to get too close to such important people, Exactly. So with that said, anyways, of course, that I understand that kind of culture has its own beauty in a way, because by doing that, they can really protect the culture in a genuine way. Because when you start sharing the culture to a lot of newcomers, you do need to make the traditions a lot more simple. Sometimes you need to break it down, and it doesn't go down deep enough. If that makes sense sometimes. So I understand that, but at the same time, though, that all matters if once you survive, right? So you need to seek ways of welcoming others and also trying to preserve the deepness of everything that you're trying to do. So I think it's a balance of those two things, and I'm really happy that Enzan Daikyu is on the path to get to that.
And I really love that they said their kind sedo, like the system of the members of the Enzan Daikyu. You need to aim to certain circle, the size of the circle target. You need to train.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So many times to get that level.
That's right.
And then you can join the member.
Yeah, exactly. In order to become an official student of the dojo, you need to be able to shoot a certain size of the target, which is about half the size of the one I'm shooting right now in this video, actually.
Super small.
That's when you finally become a member of the student of the dojo. Until then, you're considered a visitor. You have to pay the visitor price until you can get to that level.
So I love that system.
Exactly.
To protect the real.
You only let serious people get in deep into the dojo, because there's really people, like, it doesn't matter like where you're from. There's always people who are like, the moment they go into a certain community, they feel like they have the right to say their opinions and like change the systems. Like, I feel this is probably better. Like, what do you know about anything that we do here? You just came, you know. Especially, I think it's worse in Japan, where a lot of the hierarchical relationships, you know, makes people think that once you get older, you automatically get to, you know, gain respect from other people. But no, respect is something that you work for and you earn. It's not something that's automatically given to you just because you're a grandfather now. You know? Just because you're grandpa or grandma doesn't mean you automatically receive the respect. You know.
Yeah,
but
it's
a lot
different.
Of people,
things that we like younger generation to respect the elders.
Yeah, exactly.
We do like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But you don't. It's not the thing that you are going to say that things to our generation.
Exactly. That's right. That's something that we should say.
Our
side should say, not that side. That's really strange.
Yeah, super rude.
But anyways, stuff like that happens, right? So I totally understand. I think that the system that they have here is really nice. Exactly. Yeah, and I seriously, guys, especially in this podcast, I always talk about this, but I'm really open. What should I say? I don't hide anything in these podcasts. Yeah, I will let you guys know if I ever visit anywhere. Like, I was invited to the dojo actually through a mutual acquaintance, and I went to the dojo and such. But if there was something bad about the place, I would let you guys know about it. Yeah, I wouldn't share with you guys because what's more important is for my friends who are listening to this podcast or watching my content to really have an authentic, genuine experience and make their life richer. That's my goal of my life. Not to like make more, fool people, trick people, and make more money is not what I'm trying to do here. So if there's anything bad about the places I go to, I will tell you, and I won't introduce them in the first place. There's actually, I talked about this before too, actually, in a really old podcast, but there are a couple of places that we didn't introduce or never talked about because we hated the place.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there are certain places that were like unbelievably rude to us. Yeah, treating us like, immature kids. Yeah, just because we're young, and it's horrible. Just because we're YouTubers and we were in our 20s, they can suddenly like just not talk to us using honorifics, in Japanese, keigo. They could just immediately stop using honorifics towards us. And we're like, what the heck, when we go and film to these places, our relationship is flat, right?
Yeah.
They hold the activities. We are the ones introducing it to the people, to the audience. There's like no higher and lower here. But there are, again, as we talked about earlier, there are people who, when they get older and they're older than someone, they're automatically more important, regardless of what you've actually achieved in your lives. Have you guys ever had this experience? I'm sure it happens in a lot of other cultures too. Yeah, I was talking about this with another gentleman who we actually took pictures and videos together for Harumi's kimono activity, Wear, Dine, and Shine, the gentleman from France.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he actually runs like two companies, he said.
Oh.
Yeah. Related to IT, was it? Or no. Related to videography, I think. Yeah, and stuff like that. He was actually younger than me.
Oh.
And he was saying the exact same thing. So I'm sure it happens in a lot of other cultures too. But I personally feel it's worse in Japan. I personally feel it's worse in Japan. I've seen other cultures before and I've heard of other cultures before, but in Japan it's worse. If you're younger, you automatically don't have the right to speak sometimes, or no one's gonna be listening to you. Worst case scenarios, but But anyways, so it was a great place, and I'll write in the description everything about where you can make reservations and stuff. And we'll be making a full video about the dojo soon, and you'll be able to get more information. And if you're interested, just let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. One really important thing, though, as we talked about last week too, this place doesn't teach Kudo, which it originally is based from the ritualistic type of archery, traditional archery in Japan. But again, it's based on Hikiryu. So Hikiryu is more of a battlefield archery in Japan. So that's the reason why you shoot while you're seated. The situation is more of you're assuming that you're on horseback. And depending on the branch of the Hikiryu, you actually are on horseback, like the Yabusame style training. Some Hikiryu branches does that too. And there are actually, by the way, standing versions of the battlefield archery too, but most cases, as far as I've done some studying, it seems like about 80% of battlefield archery are seated, because most archers will be on horseback.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And I love how they let the beginners use the daikyu, which is the longbow. Yeah, they use the bamboo arrows. There's a lot of things that they really want to really carry down and teach the next generation what real archery was about. And that kind of had a lot of similarities with what I'm trying to do with Asayama Ichiden-ryu and Kobudo. So yeah, I seriously love their work and I really want to try to help them out as much as possible. So yeah, if you're interested, it'd be great if you can check them out. And if you're Asayama Ichiden-ryu training and coming to the training camp this year, if you're ever coming to Kyoto, and if I'm in Kyoto at that time, we could absolutely go together, I think.
Wow,
that'd be super
so
cool.
sweet.
Yeah, that'd be super cool too. So just let me know if you're interested in that as well. All right.
I love your posture.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, with that said, we still have a little bit of time before we start the online lessons for Musou Shinden-ryu. Have you guys heard about the I don't know how to say it in English again, prediction? It's based on this manga, I think. Was it a manga? Was it a novel or something? Fictional novel, Watashi ga Mita Mirai.
Oh.
And there were, almost everyone in Japan was believing that Japan was going to end in July 5th. And Japan didn't end. Yeah, and it's all based on this book. And what's crazy about this book and this author who wrote about the future that he or she, I don't know, but saw in their dream. Yeah, and she was able to predict the East Japan Great Earthquake. East Japan Great Earthquake, March 11th, 2011. She was able to predict that accurately. On the same date, right? So everyone was like, "Oh no, she probably can see the future." So, and then in that really old manga or book that she wrote, real long ago, she said that's the next huge catastrophe is going to be happening in 2025 July. And July 5th is like the exact date. Now, July 5th, nothing happened. And then people started to say, well, actually, it wasn't July 5th. July 5th is like the day she saw the dream, like whatever years ago. Yeah. So in Japanese, what's crazy is we say is July 5th is 7月5日. This 5日 is 5th, the unique way of saying the 5th. In Japanese, when you say the name of the date, certain days of the month have special ways of reading them. Yeah, like for example, if it's just the 11th, it's 11日. Did you say the number and the nichi? Yeah, 13, 14. Well, it changes a little bit, but some of them are really unique. Yeah, so like the first day of the month is 1日 all of a sudden. You don't say ichi, right? Ichi is the number one, but you say 1日 all of a sudden. You never say ichinichi. So there's different names. And 5日 is the way you say the fifth day of the month. So because the original day that the catastrophe when Japan was supposed to end was July 5th, it's 7月5日, right? But this pronunciation, this word 5日 means 5日. Means
I know.
sometime. And sometime during July. So the word sometime, sometime this might happen or something this will happen. The word 5日 and the fifth day of the month, 5日 is the same 5日, just with this different intonations. So people started to say nothing happened on the 5th, so no, it's going to be July sometime during July. And like, oh, okay, wow. It suddenly changed a lot, And what I want to say about it, if you ever heard about this, please let me know. It seems it's actually affecting people to come to Japan. Some people are canceling their travels to Japan because of this prediction.
I saw some flights are canceled.
Yeah, the flights were actually canceled due to this book. Yeah. And
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm holding my bowl.
Yeah, actually, yes. You guys probably are watching the video too. Yeah, Harumi's actually, now it's her turn to do the bow. Harumi's was her first time almost to try out martial arts, I think. Yeah. But after a lot of, you can see Mori-san is doing a lot of instructions for us. Yeah. And Harumi was able to draw the bow with the kimono on. Yeah. I probably didn't talk about this, but in the past, it seems a lot of Geiko and Maiko came to the dojo too with their guests. Yeah, some of the guests after having a couple of drinks, they'd be like, you wanna go shoot some arrows, and then we come to a dojo with the maikos or geikos that were entertaining their banquets or whatever.
Yeah, there are some names of the maiko
names of the
and
maikos on the
geiko
wall
on the
sometimes. Yeah, so they actually would be doing training with their kimono on. Yeah,
that
so
was amazing. I saw there's so many kabuki actors,
celebrities. Yeah, exactly. I think there was Sanma-san that came. Sanma-san is like one of the most famous comedians in Japan. He's a hero, in Japan. Yeah, so he actually came to this place too.
I'd love to like dress some people.
Yeah.
In kimono and then come to this.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I'm seriously thinking about some kind of event like that, Yeah, exactly. And Harumi is actually sitting on a seizaisu.
Yeah.
So it's like a small chair where you can sit in seiza without getting your legs done.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can't bring your left leg down on the floor like I was doing earlier. So Harumi was drawing the bow like this, and she actually got hit one of the targets. So it worked out too. Yeah. Now back to the story. So I totally understand that you would get really scared of these predictions and such. And there's always people like people on social media saying that I'm actually from the future. I will tell you everything that's going to be happening. And they just get a lot of views and they get a lot of shares. So it was really popular at some point in Japan. And I understand it's really scary. But at the same time, though, you need to always be ready.
True.
Yeah, because Japan is a country that has always had a lot of natural disasters. We're talking right now, but it could happen at this moment. Yeah. When you're listening to this, it might be happening in Japan right now. You need to be ready at this moment. So you need to constantly be thinking, what if an earthquake, like a huge one, comes now? Like, what are your first actions? Do you have enough supply? Where are your kids? Yeah. Where are you? Where's the safest place in the house? Yeah. If it's during the day, if you're not at home, if it happens at this moment, you're on a train, you're walking outside on the sidewalk, you're inside a shop, you're working. What's like the safest route? Like how are you going to be contacting your family? You need to constantly be thinking these things. What I'm trying to say is, let's say nothing happens during July. So is everyone going to celebrate, August 1st? Like, oh wait, nothing happened during July. It's August now, and everyone's just going to go back to their lives. No, you need to be ready anytime. Right? Yeah. So these predictions doesn't matter. If predictions actually was accurate every single time, no one would ever have any trouble with any accidents or natural disasters, right? So there's never a complete accurate prediction to anything. That's why natural disasters are always a risk for humans, right? Yeah. So we need to always be ready. Yeah. So if you're coming to Japan, of course, that's amazing. We would love you. We would love to welcome you to Japan, but Japan is that kind of country. That's the same thing. There's wherever you go, there are risks of fires, of volcano eruptions, of too much rain, floods. I guess you would say. I don't know, tsunamis, earthquakes, too hot, too cold. There is no completely convenient place with no risks, on this planet. Humans themselves hurt each other. That could be a risk too. Getting into a car accident is a risk too. You need to always be ready. It's not just July 2025 that you need to be, cautious and ready for these things. You need to always be ready. That's one thing I want to say. And that's another thing that I always keep in mind. That's really important. So you really need to always be telling your kids, telling your family how much you love them, how much you appreciating and grateful you are for them to be there for you. Yeah. I really love this story where there was a grandma, who experienced the World War II. And so her husband died in war, her brothers died in war. Yeah, so she has experienced so many times of, this was the last time I talked with this person. So whenever she prepared for her grandchildren, like help them out to go to school, and at the front door, when they say, goodbye, grandma, I'm going to school, she would always say, konjo no wakare. Means this is the last goodbye of this life, of my life. Every morning. Yeah. I heard this probably was popular on social media or something. Everyone's sharing it, but there was this grandma that say konjo no wakare every morning to their kids, saying that this is my last goodbye. Yeah. So I think that kind of mindset is really important. Yeah. Which I always do too. Because in the end, no matter how much you hug your kids, it's never going to be enough when you really have to say goodbye to them, right? You're always going to regret it. It's always going to be sad. But at least if you have that somewhere in your mind, when you say goodnight to your kids, did you hug them enough? Did you kiss them enough? You know, when you take them to school or preschool, did you tell them how much you love them? Yeah, these things are so much more important than reading books and hearing some other person's predictions or whatever. what you have in front of you, your family, your kids, your friends, you know, your life, your safety is much more important than whatever is popular or well known on the internet.
Yeah. So true.
Because you could die right now after listening to this podcast and going outside and get hit by a car.
Yeah.
No earthquake, no hurricane, no tsunami, but you could die.
Yeah,
right? Yeah, so and it could happen anytime. You need to always be ready, I think. So that's something I would love to say to the people who are like really going crazy over this prediction. Yeah, even if it really does happen during July, then wow, that person really did predict it correctly. But okay, well, it could have happened last month. It could happen next month, right? It doesn't matter. The prediction didn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? We need to always be ready. So
yeah, the movement we need to take is the same.
The actions we need to take.
Yeah, the action is the same.
Exactly.
No matter when it happens.
Yeah, that's right. So this is just the story I wanted to share with you guys. All right. Then I'm so sorry. It's already 26:27, so I need to get going. Class starts in 3 minutes. So.
Did I hit the target?
Not yet, guys.
Okay.
So guys, we'll be seeing in the full video. All right, guys. Thank you so much. See you in the next podcast. Bye-bye.
Bye.